Howdy, this is Ranger, self-appointed water parks correspondent for In a Loop. Today we're here at the SeaWorld complex in San Antonio, Texas to check out the Aquatica water park. We'll take a look around to show you everything that this great water park has to offer. Like the Aquatica park in Orlando, this one also has a tropical theme. There's always some nice greenery as you're walking into the park. Stingray Falls is the park's signature attraction. This is a family raft slide, much like the ones you see at most other water parks. A nice little finishing helix at the end, but that's not really what makes this ride special. It is this alcove that's filled with stingrays. You see, you actually go underneath here, and when you're on the ride, you can look up and see the stingrays. A nice little stingray viewing area for everybody not on the ride as well. This is what makes Aquatica so special, is their ability to integrate animal life into the thrill ride attraction. From the stingray alcove, you can actually reach down and touch the stingrays. You can also wade with the stingrays as an upcharge attraction. My favorite attraction here is the Walhalla Wave. This is an absolutely massive slide. This is a family raft slide of sorts, although it's a very high thrill factor. So you get in at the top, and then there's this high-speed spiral followed by this massive drop. This is maybe an 80-foot drop, which is just unheard of in this business, or at least it was until we've seen some other slides like this being built recently. But this was definitely one of the first ones of the type. That's not the end of the ride, though, because once you go through that massive drop, you got a ton of speed carrying you up until this gigantic wall, and this wall actually curves backwards. It curves all the way up to 90 degrees, and then it begins to curve backwards. You'll never get up high enough to the point that you would go over the 90-degree mark, but you can get some pretty decent airtime of sorts if you're sitting in the right seat. But even there, the ride isn't finished there either, as there's another 2 or 3 high-speed turns before exiting out in the splash pool. My highest recommendations I give to Walhalla Wave here. Adjacent to the Walhalla Wave is the Tamata Racer. This is a very large mat racer slide. I'm a big fan of these slides. If you saw my review of the Orlando Aquatica, you'd see that. It's not exactly the same though, because this one exits from the back side of the tower, and the other one exited on this side of the tower. But anyway, this is definitely a fun slide. I'm stalling for time here to wait till they get down. The ending drop on here is much bigger than your typical mat racer slide. That's what makes these ones so exciting. They did take out the electronic monitoring at the end to tell you what place you got, though. One thing I like about this park is that the entrance overlooks the rest of the park. That's up there. Sort of a downhill slope towards the rest of the park in the wave pool. Here is a nice kiddie play area. And the main wave pool is the Big Surf Shores. Nothing too special about the wave pool, just your typical, it's got on and off cycles with the waves. Pretty decent size for a water park of this caliber. Back behind the wave pool is Cutback Cove, another small water play area. There's a couple of small water slides here. Walkabout Waters is the park's interactive playground. Nothing particularly special here. Got the big bucket that dumps water up over everybody. Surprisingly, no body slides on this complex, but it is very colorful, very lively.
Mates, and welcome to Tassie's Twisters and Uru-Run.
Well, you heard him. These are the 2 slides we're looking at now. There's 2 of each of them, and 2 of them are bowl slides, 2 of them are regular tube slides. I usually don't like tube slides a whole lot, but these ones are pretty good. They got some nice twists and turns. They maintain their speed up pretty good, and always a fan of the bowl slides at the end. They set you into these funnels that you spin around. I don't know, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, something like that, and then they spit you out at the bottom. Obviously, these are not running today. I have been here in the past, and they haven't been running before, so I don't know if they open these late in the day or in the season. But they usually are running, though. Usually not a problem. Well, here's the locker prices. They're $15, $20, and $25. Not the cheapest I've ever seen. But look at this, so they tell you exactly how big it is. So you say, you want it small, we can make sure that all our stuff fits in it. That's pretty cool. New for 2019 is the Ehu's Breakaway Falls Drop Slide Complex, billed as the tallest drop slide complex in the state of Texas at 80 feet. So the two drop slides are the blue one and the orange one at the top. And you get some pretty good speed as you fall straight down, I don't know, 10 to 20 feet or so, more on this blue one than the orange one. There is a high amount of speed on here, and these are really smooth too. These are some of the best drop slides that I've ever seen, some of my favorites. The green slide here is not a drop slide, it's a traditional entry slide, but it also has some very high speed. You could almost say that it's the best slide in this complex. Some probably would say that. There's some very high-speed spirals before you get this final drop to the bottom. There's almost some air time on this drop. You don't see it coming. This is definitely a winning slide complex. Arguably the best slide complex in the state of Texas. Kiwi Curl and Woohoo Falls form this body slide complex. It's maybe 50 feet tall. This isn't the tallest or the fastest body slide complex you've ever seen, but it's really good. You get some very nice pushes up against the edge of some of these slides, feeling like you're gonna fall out. Definitely a fan of these. Final body slides is Kata's Kookaburra Cove. This is a small children's playground area. Loggerhead Lane is the park's lazy river ride. It's an average length lazy river. There's some nice interactive water play elements. The claim to fame used to be this bird aviary over here. The lazy river would go right through it. I'll show you right here. There was also this entrance here, which is now blocked off. This has now become a private cabana only area. The lazy river tubes still go through it, but it's not quite the same as it used to be, and you can't just walk in there and see the birds anymore.
So I took my new action camera into the Loggerhead Lane to show what this area looks like. Unfortunately, the birds have been removed from this park altogether, which is unfortunate because the aviary was such a unique experience. Speaking of a unique experience, on the day I visited, the lazy river was not staffed with lifeguard at the designated locations. Instead, one lifeguard would lead a group of about 8 people and supervise them on one lap all the way around the river. At the end of the lap, everyone had to exit the river and hand their tube to the next person in line for the lazy river. This was no doubt caused by early season staffing issues, and I expect this attraction will operate normally once staffing levels increase. Now, speaking of the park overall, Aquatica has come a long way since it became a separately gated water park in 2012. Stingray Falls Walhalla Wave and Ehu's Breakaway Falls are all world-class flagship attractions. Additional body slides, tube slides, and a mat racer at depth to form one of the most complete collections of water slides in the region. Tropical music and relatively light crowds make for a particularly relaxing day. Plan to spend one half to a full day at this outstanding water park. That's it for now. Please subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on all of the team's adventures. All of our social media accounts are listed below. Check out my Park Blotter Twitter account to see all of the hilarious and crazy things I experience on my travels, including a couple things that happened on this very visit. Thank you very much for watching this review of Aquatica San Antonio. This is Ranger, Dallas, Texas-based correspondent for In the Loop, signing off.